So, when I lost my dad when I was like 7 years old,
Mhm.
what's interesting for me is that I have no recollection of my life until 14. I think that's what trauma does. I'm
Yeah.
not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But I grew up like every other Black person in the
Yeah.
world, the single mom in this
Mhm.
generation. So for the most part, I don't want to say I had a bad upbringing. It was just is what it was. I just grew up watching my mom kind of struggle to keep us alive,
Yeah.
because she came from a marriage where she didn't work, now she had to work,
Oh.
So, and we kind of had, and as a guy, I kind of had to, because you have no role model, which
Yeah.
is the father figure, you kind of have to find it elsewhere,
Mhm.
because what my mom taught me was every human being has a void
Okay.
that needs to be filled up,
Mhm.
and then you can decide if is promiscuity going to fill that up or is correct guidance. And sometimes, as guys, we DIY a lot of things. I'm referring to guys with single moms. We have to DIY. We DIY with hip hop music. We DIY with bad role models. We DIY with gangsters. We DIY with pastors, religion. But we trying to fill that gap because intuitively we know that if we don't fill it, something else is going to fill it that's going to be in control.
Okay.
That's how I became a musician. Actually, my passion is writing. I'm not actually a musician. My passion is writing. My choice, my medium of choice to write is music,
Okay.
songwriting. But I'm a writer,
Yeah.
So I got that gift from my mother. But when it comes to music, for me, it resonates with me with how chaotic my life has been. Like music is an adventure. Like I don't think we can even explain what music really is because it's a mixture of words and melodies that become spiritual in its own essence. I've experienced a lot of pain in all realms of pain that you can experience, as in from watching your mother cry, half your family die from violence, or in a violent way, or in an unnatural way. And all of that creates pain that your brain cannot process, And what's so nice is that, for me, what I'm saying is my advantage, is that all the great musicians suffered,
Yeah.
And when you hear, in South Africa, we call it that thing. My music has that thing because it's that thing is pain. And in a more religious context or spiritual context, I'll call it the presence of God.
Yeah.
Because every human being, you might not like my music, but if the music has that thing, every human being would intuitively be like, what the F is that? So I do have, I would say that's my biggest advantage, because I just would take myself to that dark place and record.
Not you taking yourself to a dark place.
I mean, the best thing to do is, when God gives you, these are gifts from God.
Yeah.
When God gives you pain, the nice thing about being in pain is, one day that it's gonna be, you're gonna be able to live with the pain.
Okay.
Welcome to an all-new episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B.
Hey guys, and welcome to another exciting episode of Looks and Wisdom Sundays with me, Oluchi B. aka the elusive pundit, honey. How you guys feeling?
Hi.
Okay. I am with 9 in the studio, and we are doing the July series. So in July, I'll be speaking to different people. So depending on today's conversation, I'm going to decide how to group name the conversations, because I wasn't sure at this time. But 9 is here to speak to us about his creative life, because he is a creative. I will allow him to introduce himself.
Hi guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming.
My name is 9, street name. Musician, businessman. We had have a good conversation today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I actually like that, and I appreciate that, because people always ask me why I do this, and I always say it's to create community.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, and we call the fans for this channel strays, and
Strays.
It's strays, yes.
Okay.
And that comes from, a lot of people don't feel like they're connected, but we bring all the strays together in this channel to create a connection. So you are a musician, a businessman, And what else did you say? A son.
That's not a son.
A son.
You can say that. Yeah.
Someone's boo.
No, a lot of people's boos, by the way.
Oh my God.
A mentee, so I've got mentors as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so before we get into all of that, let's take it back to the beginning.
Sure.
Who is 9?
Well, interestingly enough, 9 developed when I got to Joburg for the first time in 2018.
Okay.
About 2019, my friends that I made here were calling me K9.
The dog
The
K9.
dog.
Oh my
the dog
God.
K9. And it really came from, I won't say I'm stubborn.
Okay.
But I fixed my mind on something.
Mm-hmm.
So but it came from actually a physical altercations, like many of them, and bengakuzeki. So
roughneck.
Yeah, it's like when I'm in that mode, it's very hard to get me in a leash,
Okay.
So then my friends nicknamed me K9, and then I don't know when the K fell off, and then it just became 9.
Okay.
Just like that.
So that's good to hear. So you came to Johannesburg in 2019.
2018.
2018. Where did you grow up initially?
So I grew up different places in the country.
Okay.
I grew up in Bloemfontein most of my life.
Yeah.
And then I lived in Cape Town for about 2 years.
Okay.
Those were that's like primary, high school.
In Cape Town?
The last years of my primary was Cape Town, and then I finished my high school in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
Yes.
How was Bloem?
Bloem, it looks like a big city on paper, but the mindset is very much the same as Ekoma.
Why are you dissing my hood? What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying that your hood is what it is, at least they understand.
Okay, I'm hurt.
What's interesting about Bloem is that, the mindset there is, like, you guys call your fans are the strays, right?
Yes.
So in essence, I like that because it emphasizes that your stray people are just not conforming to societal norms.
Exactly.
And they go the narrow path, which very few go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying in Bloem, why I'm saying it's got a small town mentality is because it's very much that people from the Free State, they glorify themselves, but how they move is small-minded.
Okay.
Like by small-minded, I just mean they never want to move out of their parents' house. They never want to get a car better than a Polo. Polo's the best car since sliced bread. The best job, the best salary is like 20K. And
that's Polo, man.
Their vacation is Durban every 5 years, and that's life. And yeah.
And then Uteo Kulele Naseka, because I also grew up in Cape Town.
Yes.
Where did you grow up in Cape
So
Town?
my mom was working in Stellenbosch, and I think also Tiger Valley, if I'm mistaken. And then we were living in Pinelands.
Okay.
Living in Pinelands, we have some family also that side, family friends, and this is Yolandla, things like that. So, but we were situated in Pinelands.
Okay.
Yes.
And then how would you say your upbringing was? Was it upper class in terms
a mixture?
of...
My upbringing is very unique. It's a compilation of everything.
Yeah.
So upper class to the bottom, to the middle again, to the bottom, and I'm trying to take it to the middle again. Now I'm trying to take it all the way to the top.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yes.
And then did you grow up around your parents, and how was that dynamic?
So, when I lost my dad when I was like 7 years old, what's interesting for me is that I have no recollection of my life until 14. I think that's what trauma does. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
But I grew up like every other Black person in the world, the single mom in this generation. So for the most part, I don't want to say I had a bad upbringing. It was just is what it was. I just grew up watching my mom kind of struggle to keep us alive, because she came from a marriage where she didn't work. Now she had to work, So, and we kind of had, and as a guy, I kind of had to, because you have no role model, which is the father figure, you kind of have to find it elsewhere, because what my mom taught me was every human being has a void that needs to be filled up, and then you can decide if is promiscuity going to fill that up or is correct guidance. And sometimes, as guys, we DIY a lot of things. I'm referring to guys with single moms. We have to DIY. We DIY with hip hop music. We DIY with bad role models. We DIY with gangsters. We DIY with pastors, religion. But we're trying to fill that gap because intuitively we know that if we don't fill it, something else is going to fill it that's going to be in control.
Okay. In terms of, oh, by the way, this is his mother. He's downplaying the whole thing. This is his mother. By the way, igama lakhe nguNokwanda Ngombane, and she wrote this wonderful book for us. And I did speak to her about it like 2 weeks ago. So this is the mom, in case you don't know.
Yes.
And so I wanted to get to, then you don't remember like 14 years of your life. So crazy, because I can't, like, there's certain highs if I get to, not like smoking high, like in life. Like I went to 2018, I went to the Jay-Z and Beyonce concert, and it was such a high for me. I don't remember anything about it. And last year I went to the Chris Brown concert, and it was such a high. I don't remember anything about that. And I also think also with the lows, like if I go too low, then I don't remember anything about it. So I think you might be right about the fact that trauma does make us forget a lot of the stuff that we go through.
Yeah.
And in terms of your father, is there anything that you know about the guy?
Well, everything I know about him is secondhand information. I just know him through his wife, my mom.
Yeah.
I know him through his close friends. I know him through the work he's done.
Yeah.
I know him through his philosophies. I know him through my own desires that I've got similar natural inclinations. So I won't say I know the guy, because I really don't. But I don't think it bothers me, because he sounds like a great guy. He sounds like a mixture of an average person who just had an idea that won't go away, and in his own capacity and ability did all that he could to make it manifest. You know, so that's, for me, I'm proud of that idea, that from where he came from to where he ended up, it was impossible. So in terms of society, in terms of making it out in those terms, he wasn't supposed to make out, you know, and he did.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, okay, we agree on that. We have the same spirit.
Yeah.
We can see the current situation, but this is not the final destination, kind of the thing.
And I wanted to find out, in terms of like life lessons, that's probably what you got from your dad, even though you don't know him.
Yeah.
Do you believe that even if you don't know people, if they are your parents, you're going to be tied to them in some way, and you're going to have their traits?
Yeah. I think, you know, what's interesting about that is, as much as I don't know him, how he took care of my mom really impacts me, because he still takes care of her till this day, financially.
Oh, that's good.
And that's, for me, that's amazing, you know. And what I take from all of that, you know, coming a bit to being a musician, is what I take from that is that become the best version of yourself, and develop in all areas of all your gifting. You know, that's how I became a musician. Actually, my passion is writing. I'm not actually a musician. My passion is writing. My medium of choice to write is music, songwriting. But I'm a writer, you know. So I got that gift from my mother. But you know, when it comes to music, for me, it resonates with me with how chaotic my life has been. Like music is an adventure. Like I don't think we can even explain what music really is, because it's a mixture of words and melodies that become spiritual in its own essence. You know,
Is there any trait that you took from your mom, or traits?
Yes, I think 80% of me is my mother, and 20% is my dad.
Okay.
In terms of, you know, my mom is very introverted, likes her own space, has a very knit group of friends, likes to travel, and enjoys financial security and the simple life. And I really resonate, and I'm inclined to do that. However, I want that as my end goal. But towards that, I'm the 20% my dad of, okay, we need to grind. The desires that I have are impossible, but it's going to happen. You know, it's sort of like the American mindset, how Americans think. Like, I think my dad would have really excelled in America in terms of his traits. And I think that's what I've adopted in terms of the spirit of relentlessness, and just believing in my own intuition,
Yeah.
you know, and developing that. I think one of the biggest things I've developed from what I've got from my dad, the traits, is be very intuitive.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you think being like an only child to a single mom sort of like put you in an advantage in some way?
I think you know what the biggest advantage that I have, which is most people will disregard as an advantage, is I've experienced a lot of pain in all realms of pain that you can experience, as in from watching your mother cry, half your family die from violence, or in a violent way, or in an unnatural way. And all of that creates pain that your brain cannot process, you know. And what's so nice is that, for me, what I'm saying is my advantage, is that all the great musicians suffered, you know.
Yeah.
And when you hear, you know, in South Africa, we call it that thing. My music has that thing because it's that thing is pain. And in a more religious context or spiritual context, I'll call it the presence of God.
Yeah.
You know, because every human being, you might not like my music, but if the music has that thing, every human being would intuitively be like, what the F is that, you know? So I do have, I would say that's my biggest advantage, because I just would take myself to that dark place and record.
Not you taking yourself to a dark place.
I mean, you know, the best thing to do is, you know, when God gives you, these are gifts from God.
Yeah.
When God gives you pain, the nice thing about being in pain is, you know, one day that you're gonna be able to live with the pain.
Okay, good. Now I've got the title for this series, which is the one I had last night when I was actually thinking about, because we spoke yesterday and on Monday. And yesterday I was watching, I like documentaries because of that essence, because everybody that creates anything to like the highest level is drawing from pain and is drawing from trauma. And I was thinking yesterday, I was like, our blueprint and who we are literally stems from the pain that and the trauma that we endure in our childhood and the lives that we live. No one creates anything significant from like a place of like joy, because there you're like, I know life is good, but then when something really important happens in your life that's traumatic, it changes your brain. And I was actually saying to myself in my dreams, because I dream a lot, I was like, our blueprint, like people believe in like soul contracts.
Yes.
We already have soul contracts coming into this life. Our parents are just, and the environment in which we grow up in is just conjures that blueprint that we already have for ourselves, which informs anything that we do, from what we think about school, what we end up doing in our lives, and what we use our creative output to do.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, you know, one thing I will say about that is that, you know, a lot of third world individuals, specifically men, and because a lot of people have had, I don't have a unique experience.
No one does. I can Google right now. There's someone who's had the same life experience as me,
or worse, you know.
Yeah,
and yet they yes, or worse. And
I think about the people in what is it in Palestine right now. It's like, guys, I have a good.
I mean, don't go too far from Palestine. Look at Zimbabwe and Mozambique, for example.
You can look at Kylie and Alex, to be quite honest.
They skipped the border to come here.
Yeah.
So how bad is their pain?
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing is, their pain motivated them to listen. I'm guaranteed to die where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
But the risk of jumping the border and getting shot by border patrol,
and also the crocodiles,
and swimming in the crocodiles is much better than where I am. And they make it across here, you know.
Yeah.
And they still live a subordinate life.
Yeah.
But there are people like them who still persevere and they overcome their circumstances, you know. So I use pain as that, you know, like and I think also the biggest thing about pain, you know, is that it resonates with everybody. You can't pray it away. You can't cry it away. You can't sell it. The only way pain is going to go away is through your areas of gifting, because you need to empty it out.
Yeah.
And the thing about life is that why most people carry more than they should is because they don't release what they do. So for me, why I say I'm going to a dark space when I make music is because I always want to empty my pain cupboard.
Yeah.
So it's the pain is still there, but I want it to no longer be inside me.
Exactly.
So it should go out into, whether it's a book, whether it's music, whether it's a business deal, whether it's manifesting something for someone else, like charity. Let it inspire goodness. You know, like scriptures would say that you overcome evil with good.
Yeah.
You know, pain is evil, but how you use it can determine does it destroy you or do you overcome it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm glad we are here because last month was men mental health. Do they have like female mental health or what?
It's not allowed. We shouldn't even, you know, something controversial. Sorry about that. Us as men made a big mistake in the 50s when we gave women rights.
What?
And I always say this.
I'm typing, depending on what you're going to say next, I am either going to delete the paragraph or consent.
No. Like really, because, you know, you guys have had everything given to you in the past 70 years. Yeah? And us as guys, we just want a month of reflection. You know, why it's men, I think we should rebrand the Men's Mental Month. It should just be Man's Month, where we're not getting socks, we're getting Bugattis, we're getting Lamborghinis, we're getting concubines, we're getting vacations. We just need to be recognized as gents.
Okay,
you know, especially the gents who are pulling their weight. Not the normal gents. I'm talking about gents who are pulling their weight and not playing that story in their mind, you know. I don't think women need to have a Women's Month because it's always Women's Day every day.
In which life are you living?
In the reality of the world.
It's a man's world.
True. Okay, let me ask you a question. Who bought you drinks when you went to Bro?
Some guy.
Exactly. I'm finished. I don't need to have this conversation. Like, it's always Women's Day. That was Women's Day. That was Onichi Day. You know what I'm saying?
Are we deleting the paragraph? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth, you know. So I think for us, June should be a reflection of, it's only for the guys who are pulling their weight.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't deserve depression if you're not pulling your weight, or you don't deserve to be comforted in your depression if you're not pulling your weight as a guy, because the world does not owe men understanding. You know, the world is, can you pay this, yes or no? Can you do that, yes or no? Is this done? Okay, fine. Since you've done X, Y, and Z, then you may pause and reflect, and you are entitled to comfort. You know.
Okay, talking about that and reflection, before I did like a whole series on men mental health, and prior to that, I was talking to my friend. I was like, yeah, no, the guys can do it themselves. And then it dawned on me that I'm going to be talking about mental health, but focusing on men. And my thinking when I did that series was mental health issues shouldn't be genderfied, because as a female, I'm bound to date a guy, and I'm bound to have guy friends and probably have a son later on. So whether or not I want to participate in the narrative around men's mental health, I have to, just by the mere fact I'm a female existing in a world that has men around. I can have a boss that's a man and a boss that's, or like someone at work that's also a man. Yeah.
Well, number one, I don't believe in women working.
Me too, honey.
I think because women have decided they don't need men and they prefer the government to be their father or their husband. I think the best thing is women should work from home, you know.
Yeah, I'm working from home right now.
You guys are not built to handle the kind of stress that the work world, what you guys fought for and forced us to give you rights for 70 years ago, is not working. And we see
typing again.
And we it's not working because we see when you guys wild out and you guys are lashing, it's like, shorty, you are venting because you went to work, but you guys fought for this. What's your problem?
Did you fight for work, Ty?
Well, let me ask this. Are you against women being independent?
No, I'm not against women being independent. But my thinking always in life is what informs, like we were talking about the fact that trauma is our blueprint. It just gets conjured up by the parents that we have. You were fortunate to have a father that was a provider in your life. My dad was not a provider. My mom was like the girl that was working. My dad was happy to take the money and spend it with his concubines.
Yeah.
And then when my mom's businesses failed, my dad went to go find work. And then that's when I knew what poverty was.
Yeah.
And this guy was working. So my need to work and have my own coin doesn't come from the fact that I don't believe women should be independent. It comes from survival.
Yes.
And what I feel like I need to do. Like, I trust niggas, but I can't trust niggas for shit to know that they'll take care of me for forever. I always keep a stash somewhere because I saw it happen in real life in my own family with my own parents.
Yeah. But you know, what you just described is something that women need to unlearn. Is that once you turn 18, the world doesn't give a shit about your problems because we all have a sad story.
Which is why I make my own money.
Yes, I don't disagree. And you should make your money because you're an adult. But what I'm saying is, back in the day, before we gave you guys rights, or even the idea or the illusion you guys could possibly one day get rights, which happened around the 30s, 40s, 1940s, 1930s. You guys have to unlearn what, because you say you want a husband, right? And you want a kid, I'm sure.
No, I don't.
Or you don't?
Yeah,
Not anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No, never.
Never.
It was never my thing.
So that's also very interesting because I'm not psychoanalyzing. You're not a doctor. I'm a rapper.
This is not my interview.
I know it's not. I'm a rapper. But, you know, it comes back to the pain thing.
Yeah.
Is that pain sometimes when you hold on to it subconsciously also, you don't, because the only way sometimes to get stuff is to let go of stuff, to make room for stuff to come through. So I'm just saying, when it comes to the narratives of you trust niggas, but not in this regard for shit, is that it's something women should unlearn to make space for men who want to fill that gap. Because there are men who love responsibility.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys who want that, but we get the short end of the responsibility, meaning I'll provide, I'll do everything, but you're not going to give me regular sex. You're going to badmouth me to your friends sometimes when we fight. You're going to threaten divorce on me, or actually take me to divorce and succeed and take half my shit. You're going to not make me see my kids when we had sex out of wedlock because it's your child, no longer ours, it's yours. But I'm being dragged to maintenance court to pay for your child because you said it's your child, but it's not longer ours. So we're getting the short end of the stick always.
Yeah.
And real men don't complain about that. We just assess the board and say, okay, fine. Y'all are playing with us. It's cool. We'll play with y'all. We don't want to get married anymore. We don't want titles anymore. When you guys in Pillow Talk ask, where is it going? It's like, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to say anything because obviously this is not my interview, but what I am going to agree with you is it's true. Obviously, everybody sees life from their own perspective, so I respect your opinion on that. And life doesn't happen, it happens like cyclical per generation. So whatever happened to get the woman to want to work was because of what was happening before. And then now what's happening with the soft life? Yeah. Like the soft life trend and also like the treadwife trend is coming from, it's coming from watching the previous generation gone through that's why we're talking about the fact that everything that we do always has a blueprint, and that blueprint will always be trauma. So hopefully the new generations, if they want, they're going to want to do away with the rights of having to work and having to be upstanding females in community like we have. Yeah. And then obviously that's going to lead to something else, and then the next generation is going to want something different from life. We never want the same things based on our parents, the trauma that they've experienced, and we always change and evolve based on that.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to your way of coping with your life. Like, I don't like getting deep into people's problems, even though it's Tanindaba. How do you cope? You spoke about like a lot of DIY things that men do, including drugs, sex, alcohol, and the funny things that they do. What's your coping strategy for life besides making music and writing?
I think that's the only coping mechanism I have. It's just to write.
Okay.
Relax with my friends, and mostly just gravitate towards what gives me comfort, which is spirituality and family. So my coping mechanisms has always been the same: family, writing music, being with friends and talking shit and playing with girls.
You guys talk a lot of shit.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit, and play with a lot of girls.
Yeah.
And just have fun, because I just believe, what's the point in coping when reality just gave you cards that you were dealt with, and you just have to play from that position you're in, So I just learned to enjoy life as it comes. It's not easy, but I mean, it becomes easy if you go one day at a time. I think that's why we're blessed in this cosmos to live life, although it's like 80 years, you live it, you don't feel the 80, you feel the day. So at least you can cope when it's just a day, because each day has its own problems. As we all know, month end is just the due date, you gotta pay stuff. That's a stress time. Then you've got certain days where it's just every day. So you just, so for me, I just cope, if you can use that word, in the sense that I just gravitate towards things that bring me comfort and things that manage my stress, or things just make me forget. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan of liquor, not really a fan of drugs. I'm not a fan of things that alter my sober mind. I like being present, because I feel like you do really reckless shit when you're not present. And then you end up blaming the substance or other people when the byproduct was you let this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And therapy, do you believe in
I'm a big fan of therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy is very good to reflect on where you are. I've used it for most of my life since I was a kid. So I think therapy is a big part of my development, especially trying to integrate my shadow or your dark side. Because I mean, if you have a father figure, then you're gonna have you might have good or bad brothers or uncles or people you look up to.
Yeah.
And as a musician, or as a young kid, I was looking up to rappers.
Yeah.
And rappers, as we all know, are killers and gangsters and drug dealers. So now, so if I consume a lot of that, I can lie to myself and say I won't become that. But what you consume, you become. So now, okay, fine. Then you get to the place of, okay, shit, I've got some gangster traits. Where did this come from? Oh, this comes from the consumption of or allowing certain individuals to model your mind in this regard, So then therapy helps you to unlearn certain things or integrate things where necessary as a man, So for me, I always use therapy as a tool just to further my development of self.
Okay. So with the shadows, obviously violence was one of your shadows
course.
How did you even become a violent person? You don't give off like violent tendencies.
I don't have violent tendencies. I'm not. Let me put it. Let me put it this way, Olichi. I'm a man.
Yeah.
So a real man has the capacity to be violent, extremely, and it's only when the situation or environment calls upon it.
Yeah.
So I'm not really a violent person, but if you want us to go there, I'll throw the first punch. Like I'll stab the first guy.
Oh my God, that's violent. Like
Yes.
I wouldn't think about stabbing. I don't even think about like I think I'm violent with my words.
The thing is, because you're a woman, you're not supposed to think about violence the way we think about violence.
Okay.
But why I would use violence is because if you know someone's gonna strike you, if you know for a fact, then the best move you have is to strike first. You don't wait.
But you go to prison for that. You're supposed to wait.
We're in Joburg, so a lot of things that happen that people should have been to prison for. I mean, for example, there was a time I drove the Uber driver just to go back home, right? And JMPD stops us like a normal roadblock, and they didn't stop us for. It was not a stop for like the license disc or anything.
Yeah.
It was a stop and search for vehicles, right? For whatever. And they asked my Uber driver, is there a gun in the car? He says, yes. He's like, is the gun registered? He said, no. He's like, can we see the gun? He took it out from his waist. They gave it to him. He looked at it, gave it back to him, and we proceeded. Okay. That is illegal. So I'm just saying that already having a weapon on you, that's 5 years. But that is Joburg, honey. So, you know, in a different city, in Cape Town, sure, that'll be prison. You have to conduct yourself a bit differently there.
I know, they're racist over there. That's why I
Unfortunately.
left.
Unfortunately.
And what are some of your good traits, like the lighter side of who you are as a person?
I won't go into detail.
We only
but
one.
Yeah,
We're
no, I'll
not
give you
trying
a
to give
few.
your weak points to the haters and the ops.
I really love my friends and my family.
Yeah.
I'm really reliable. And this is not me blowing my own horse. My friends can vouch for that. I love charity. A very reasonable guy. I almost all the time say yes to people I love and care about.
Okay.
To anything, whatever problem it is, I will say yes.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's at my expense or at my inconvenience. You know, and also other traits is, as much as we just spoke about violence and stuff, I do love love.
Okay.
I still believe love that our grandparents experienced still exists. I don't know where I'll find it. Unfortunately, I think I'll find it in Rwanda or Sudan.
The Zulu girls, Tswana girls, Betty girls, colored girls, white girls.
I think I must go to the Indian. Yeah, white and Indian girls, sure. Like we can do something there. But our African sisters, it's just, the field is just, it's terrible.
People will say you're self-hating because that's what we call the rappers that go and date like the exotic chicks, like they self-hating. Why won't you believe a black girl can be soft?
Look, it's not about a black girl can be soft or not. Women, I believe, let me put it this way, uneducated black women, I would marry a cleaner. I wouldn't even wait a month. Let's go to her face inside. I would actually own everything with her 50-50, 100%, even if I'm worth $1 billion.
Okay.
Because she still has her femininity in check. And she's not gonna stress me to go to Diamond Walk at Santon City.
You're a billionaire. Why would that be a problem?
She's not going to, it's not about the money. It's about why are you so materialistic? Why does Balenciaga matter? Like, if you want Chanel, you should be a good housewife, and Chanel just comes as a byproduct. If you want Gucci, if you want a Europe tour, if you want a vacation in Maldives, is the house in order? Do I have 10 kids that I want? Do I have my family that I want? If I do, then you are allowed to get a Gucci bag, Louis bag, Birkin bag, Lamborghini, status. But until those things are met, I'd rather marry a cleaner because she'll be grateful that we're living in Midrand.
You're such a paradox. Like literally, I'm not even going to get into it. The girls can hate in the comments.
Yeah.
Hate in the comments, girls, because he's been cooking the black female the whole time.
Yeah.
Let's get to your music then. Yeah. So you're a rapper. What do you create? Because there's like a lot of different subgenres to the rap. It's not like back in the day when it was like, you're a rapper, that means you're a rappity rap, like mic, check, beep, 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 those type of things.
So I refer to myself as a commercial / mainstream artist.
Okay.
So I do music that resonates for the general masses, you know. So I'm in tune with what's happening in the world, how people think. Like, for example, in the 2018, 2019 era, that was like the depression time. Yeah. So I conformed into, okay, let's start to make depressive music. And that's because most people are dealing with high levels of anxiety and depression. It was at all-time highs at that time, you know? And then now music is becoming more conversational. It's becoming more of like a diary form. Like when you listen to artists these days, your favorite artists, they just share with you like what's going on in their life recently.
That's a lie.
Well, mainstream artists, I'm referring to...
No, they're not.
What else are you talking
we
about?
Listen to, like, me and T listen to all the new music all the time. He works in like a radio station.
Yes.
It's far removed. I feel like music nowadays is far removed from the authenticity of an artist. Yeah. Like, even like locally. I think the only music that reflects what people are doing is Amapiano, because, you know, alcoholism and groove is like the thing of the country. Yeah. Outside of that, I don't think artists are like reflecting their real life and real life experiences.
Okay, so I'm referring. So my competition is not South Africa.
Okay.
Number
No,
one.
no. We listen to everybody.
Yes. No, I'm agreeing with you. And it's actually interesting to talk about South African artists, because what you said about South African artists is completely correct. There is no authenticity. But in the States, the guys at the top, I'm referring to the guys at the top 10, top 10, top 20,
mention someone.
like Drake, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Jay-Z, Kanye.
Okay, Kanye is one of the artists that really pulls from their
Yes,
soul.
exactly. So those kind of artists that are at the top, like Baby Keem as well,
Yeah.
they share
Yeah,
what's
Baby Kim does a great
exactly,
job doing that.
you know. So what South African artists, I had this chat with my friend, I think about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
What South African artists are lacking is that they are undeveloped artists, and they're non-investable artists, because they still stuck in how a song should be structured. It should be hook verse, bridge, hook, whatever. Or they should, when they're coming as a feature, they must be at the last verse or whatever, and they must have these punchlines. So they put too much thought into writing. Like, for example, I don't write music. I just put the mic on and freestyle for about 10, 20 minutes. And I just take
and
the best.
Wayne, apparently Jay-Z and Wayne do the same.
Yeah, Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, Juice WRLD did the same.
Okay.
XXXTentacion did the same.
Yeah. I do the same.
Kanye does the same.
Oh, yay.
Yes, but he
Okay.
records in pieces, but he does the same.
Oh, okay.
So all the great artists write from the heart. And why that's important, and Lil Durk as well, why that's important that they write from the heart is because there's never been a version of you that exists in this realm of reality, and there never will be.
Yeah.
So they connect with who they are in the essence, and the best thing to do is just to let it all out.
Yeah.
And most artists in South Africa are undeveloped in that regard, because they still want to impress, they want exposure, they want to rub shoulders, they want the accolades, they want the byproduct of being a musician instead of being a musician first, and get those accolades as a byproduct.
Yeah.
So that's why they're so entitled, and why they will say they got a bad label deal. It's like, no, dude, you didn't get a bad label deal. Labels are here to invest money. They're not donating 2 million for you to live your lifestyle. They're putting 2 million in because you are a product that they can make millions off of, and potentially you can increase your value to command more investment opportunities for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just saying, you're correct in saying that these artists in South Africa are not authentic. They're absolutely not.
Yeah.
They are just following what's the next trend, what's the next hit, and they're not even, and that's also a form of trauma, because they self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's
Do
true.
you understand? They're not looking to make music, they're looking to make money. And as an artist, money is a byproduct.
Yeah.
I've been making music and writing for free. I am happy to keep writing for free forever, if that's what it means. So now it's like, the artists that are in South Africa, they're not willing to pay that price. They'll just give up, and they'll be like, hey, I haven't recorded in 5 years. It's like, then you were never a musician in the first place.
That's true.
Because a musician is, if I don't record for a week, I get depressed.
I feel the same thing about it, because I swear to God, I appreciate the people who are always giving me tips on how to pop on social media. I was like, guys, I'm putting in my 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
I believe in this more than I believe in like quick fame.
Yes.
And everybody that I know and their mama, including people that I didn't grow up on, like Brenda Fassie. Like, Brenda was doing this because if she wasn't doing it, she's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Jackson was like working from when he was like 9 years old, and his biggest glory came when he was 20-something years old. And I was like, I'm more invested in like the quality and how it makes me feel, and me being authentic in the output, more than everybody thinking, oh, I want to be like the next Michelle Pop and do all these funny things. I always say there's a big difference between what I do, which I believe is a form of art, than being like an influencer person where you are an advertisement, like an ad for brands to like use you and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, you know, what you say is interesting, because when you speak about Michael Jackson and those other artists that took time to develop, keyword, when the money started to come and the fame, it was when they were fully developed as artists that they have the capacity to handle multi-million-dollar deals, touring.
Look at what Beyonce's doing right now.
Exactly. Even a common one that we know of our era is Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber was found on the street in Canada, and Ed Sheeran as well. And they were just being developed. They were playing with the guitar on the street, getting coins, but they were developing their live performance. They were overcoming their fear. They were doing the little things. That's why in the scriptures it says, if you're faithful with little, you'll be faithful. I mean, if you're faithful with little, you'll be entrusted with much. So that means that if you just do the things that you know you should be doing very well, you will get to the end goal. The frustration with most artists is that it is frustrating to self-criticize because you can get into a loop of, fine, you can do your 10,000 hours, but is your 10,000 hours the same hour repeat for 10,000 times?
Heavy on that.
Because you need to be better than your last hour. So, and the only to come better is just avoid the mistakes that you did. You know, because in the human mind, what's very interesting about the mind, I don't understand the mind, but it's very interesting, is that it doesn't really tell you what to do, but it helps you avoid what not to do. Or it can be like, no, that was wrong. You know, so the more you practice, the more you look at your feedback, the more you avoid doing the mistakes, and you'll end up doing the right things. And then by the time you're doing the right things, it will still feel like you're not progressing. And then you'll be hearing, yo, dude, you're on a different level. And you are like, what do you mean? Like, because you as an artist, you're just focused on your craft, you just focus on becoming better, but you're not realizing that you are so much further than your peers. Like, for me as an example, I am probably further than the entire industry. I've got 3,000 songs unreleased.
Oh, wow.
So if I were to die, I've got 50 years of work that can be released.
That's good.
You understand? And most artists don't, and I'm still trying to top that. So my stress is I have to top things that are not even released yet. You know, so being an artist, like what you said, to get into the 1%, into the top area of your gifting.
That's where we are going.
That's where we at, actually.
Oh, thank you. Someone else said that to me the other day.
Really
like, oh my God, I love that interview so much.
Truthfully, because what you're doing or what I'm doing, we're in the space where we have opened up facilities in our gifting that now money must come. We don't need no more advice. We don't need more exposure. We don't, you know what I'm saying?
Kanye West, you cannot give me any advice.
We don't want advice.
You can help me. You can cut a check.
You
can help me build some infrastructure.
That's it. Only thing we need is, hey, this platform needs
I always
2
say that
million.
to my brain. I'm glad.
No, the only thing we need is give us 5 million. We know what to do with it.
Exactly.
We don't need you to coach us and tell us that things come with a purpose. Don't want a purpose. We are developed. You understand? So that's why I'm a compilation of music, a musician, and a business person. Because I'm like, okay,
he can sell water to a well done.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to wait for a label to invest in me. I'm gonna be like, okay, fine. I need 700. Like in South Africa, to blow up, by the way, in terms of figures, you need 750,000 rands cash investment in order to distribute, in order to build your fan base and make it strong. That's how much you need. So now, if you look at that amount as a big figure, then just raise capital. Or just find ways to leverage. Go get a job and save for 3 years and not spend the money. You will have the cash to inject. That's why I love American artists. You might call this controversial, but American artists understood this so much that they resorted to selling drugs. If you listen to Jay-Z.
I came in 100,000 strong. Came in the game 100,000. I think he says something like that.
Like what Jay-Z says in that song God Did. He says, I turned the cocaine into champagne. So Jay-Z was always a business person, but he needed capital.
Oh, I was quoting Can I Live?
Oh.
He does say he came in the game with 100,000 rand strong.
Yeah.
As like his money from himself.
Yes, exactly. And I'm saying that's where, as artists, you cross the line of the believers and the non-believers.
Yeah.
If you truly believe in your art, then you will do whatever it takes to take it to that level, and whatever it takes means just that. Morally or immorally, that's what it means. Because, like we just said now, as artists, true artists, you get depressed if you don't write.
Yeah.
Or you just get depression and you can't figure out what's going on. You're like, oh, I didn't write or record.
Yeah.
That's why I'm feeling this way. And once you write and record, or you go to your area of gifting, you feel this weight come off, and you're like, wow, so I'm a slave to my gift. And essentially, you are a slave to your gift.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about purpose and the work that you do, but I think the last sentence answer that.
Yes.
I think the last question around you and your music, and obviously what's happening in the world right now. Do you feel like, because I don't feel like I have a brand, like who I am is my brand, and the work is the product that I do, and that's just like the consequences of the way that things are for me. Do you believe that artists should spend their time honing a brand?
I think artists should spend their time how I spend my time. Become more of yourself.
Okay.
And that doesn't just mean your area of gifting.
Yeah.
It means in all aspects. Become the best friend that you could possibly be, the best child to a parent, the best associate, the best relative, the best colleague, the best business partner, the best lover. And as you develop all those areas, everything comes as a byproduct.
Yeah.
Because if it's money you want, because most artists are starving artists, and the starving artist made a mistake, like I have as well in the past. You're supposed to make money. So you shouldn't give up work and business and just do your art. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
You only do that once everything around you is sustaining your life.
Yeah.
Then you can just do music only, or your painting only, because your bills are being paid, because you have the car you want, your family is good, you can just focus on this thing.
Yeah.
But the true nature and the what the audience and the masses love is they love a struggle story.
Yeah.
And they love a present continuous struggle story. So that's why we always say, an artist has changed when he blew up. He changed because he didn't change. It's just that he was here for the money.
Yeah.
And now we see it, because, like, not to bash Casper.
I was thinking about the exact same human
like,
being.
Casper,
I was thinking about the exact same human being.
Casper, if you study Casper in your vest did serve hip hop justice in terms of taking it where it should be. In terms of, like, now we are seen as a serious investable opportunity, like the market, because of Casper in your vest.
Yeah.
But Casper didn't even lie about why he's in music. He's here to make money.
Yeah.
And once Casper got the money he wanted, which is over hundreds of millions of rands, you could see in his music that he was never a musician.
I always knew he was never a musician.
He was never a musician.
And that's why I was an AKA fan.
He was a business person
who happened to be
make music.
Exactly.
And music was just the business that was going to make the money to fund the lifestyle he wants.
Yeah.
And now music for him is just it's a hobby for him. Whereas, so I'm just saying that Casper is a good example of that.
Yeah.
You know, but then you get real examples of people like AKA, for example.
Yeah.
AKA was a musician who happened to have businesses. So AKA, all his projects till his last one, you can hear this is a musical genius.
Yeah.
This is a musician in the core. Yes, he was in it for the money, but he sacrificed the money in terms of he signed shit label deals that just gave him a couple of millions of stuff.
Yeah.
And he was smart and diligent enough to reinvest that money he got into businesses that made him hundreds of millions as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, my message to anyone who's developing their gifting is become more of yourself.
Yeah.
And just work backwards. Have a vision and then be like, okay, fine, I want to have 100 million rand.
Yeah.
I want to be number one on all markets. Fine. Work backwards. how do I get there from here?
Yeah.
The only answer is become better.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. And then in terms of what you're doing right now, where can we get the music?
You can get the music on Spotify.
Is it only on Spotify?
So it's on it's on all platforms.
Okay, because I've got Apple.
Yeah, so it's also on Apple Music as well.
Okay.
So you can just so for now, my stage name hasn't yet changed on social media platforms. It's still my government name.
Not the government.
So you can find me if you just type Khanya, you'll find me there. Anywhere, YouTube, doesn't matter, you'll find me there.
Yeah.
On social media, I only have TikTok for now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have Twitter, but I'm not really a social person.
I don't like talking.
Same. I like talking, but in real life.
Me too.
You understand?
Me too.
So you'll find me on babyboy97 on TikTok.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about where you'll get me.
Okay. And then future, what do you see for yourself in the future?
In the future, near future.
Very near future.
Let's say 18 months. Is in not 18 months, say 12 to 18 months.
Okay.
I'm gonna at least have gone to 3 tours successfully, nationally. I would have signed a deal.
Okay.
I'm in the works of getting a deal actually. Business-wise, mark my words, multi-millionaire.
I'm going for the billions though.
Yeah, I want the billions, but just start with the millions first. Okay. So new money first, then we go to the old money.
1%. You want to be the 1% first, and then the 1% of the 1%.
We first want Lambos, then we'll give to charity. So that's how it's gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
So Lambos first,
okay.
Then we give to charity.
You're jumping off a yacht at the Amalfi Coast.
After we've realized that we're reckless, we shouldn't have spent that 5 million on that, then we'll become billionaires and give back.
Okay.
And I think by 30, I would have loved to have at least 2 kids.
Okay. And a wife, or are you gonna surrogate the situation?
I do want a wife, but I want children more than I want a wife.
Niggas are the same.
You know.
So who's supposed to be carrying all these children? Surrogate?
No, not surrogate. One thing I'll say about relationships, is that relationships, unfortunately, have gotten to a point where, as guys, we see the situation, and we fucked. We fucked because the thing is, like, as a guy, let's talk about being friends with girls or guys.
Yeah.
I cannot talk to my guy friend for 4 or 5 years. Me and him are still good. He can call me and I'll help him out. We'll still be friends for 50 to 100 years. Or even if I die today, we are still friends until the grave. My father's a perfect example of that, is that they're still friends 20 years after he's passed.
Yeah. Very
good friends. So I'm saying that when it comes to women, we just make one mistake. And as human beings, supposed to make a mistake. We make one mistake, divorce or breakup, and on top of that, women have multiple boyfriends for multiple things. So the thing is, that's why my ethos and mental models and philosophy towards should I get married or not, should I have multiple women giving me kids or not, just stems from the fact that I'm just being practical here. I want children, and I want children with the same person.
Okay.
And I want my kids to all live in the same house, with the same parents, and have the same ideas.
Yeah.
And me having control of what influences their mind and the environment, of course.
Yeah.
But if I can't get that, there is an alternative. Because in the same way, you guys, your alternative is, if you can't get a husband, you're going to have a boyfriend for rent, a boyfriend for your car, a boyfriend for grocery, a boyfriend for your education, a boyfriend for cool drink money, a boyfriend for vacation, and then a side boyfriend from those ones, and all those things. In the same way,
I don't endorse this message, by the way. In case you're wondering, I don't endorse it.
And you guys having that, by extension, we as guys, we just want love and children.
Okay.
That's all we want. We want love and children. Okay. And even if it means will rather have children with friends with benefits, so be it. Or have children, like I told you, marrying a cleaner. I don't have to marry a cleaner. I could just go to her and say, hey, listen.
I think you're conjuring this up from your soul because you're so dedicated to the cleaner propaganda.
No, the cleaner is the cleaner. When I use the word cleaner,
Yeah.
I actually mean people who are invisible.
Okay.
You don't see the Uber driver.
Yeah.
You don't see the cleaner. You don't see a security guard. You don't see the police officer. You don't see the people driving the ambulance. You don't see the nurse.
Yeah.
They kind of like invisible. It's like the door. You don't notice that the door is there.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I would marry, I'm saying cleaner because a person to become a cleaner must have come to terms with their reality.
Yeah.
And they swallowed it, but they still do it with a good attitude.
Yeah.
They still do it diligently. They don't complain that they're cleaners. And if anything, they are happy and grateful for that.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm saying that I would love a woman in my life with those qualities.
Okay.
Of those qualities of being humble, of being grateful, using what you have, accepting your reality, and still giving love to your man as if he's the king. Even if that guy earns the same amount of money you have, they still, that's why I love the grandparents' love. My grandfather was poor as shit, but his wife, my grandmother, gave him 3 kids, 3 sons.
Yeah.
That my grandfather, in my opinion, was a king.
Okay.
Because I'm saying that most gents now can have millions and they're only having daughters. My grandfather was poor. His name still lives on because he had 3 sons.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. I'm not gonna endorse any of your propaganda. I like it for you.
Yeah.
Any last words? And again, if you can give us your social medias.
So my social media is babyboy9
Yeah.
7 on
Across
TikTok.
board.
TikTok
Just
only.
on TikTok
I'm only on
only.
TikTok only for
Yeah.
now. My music's on my government name for now, Khanya, which will be changed to 9 before the end of this year.
Okay.
My last words that I will say, and particularly to men,
Yeah.
and also for women to also listen closely, is that, and for artists out there, is that if you want money for your art, could be writing, could be painting, could be music. If you want money, become investable.
Yeah.
If you want to take your art to the next level, incorporate discipline in your life.
Yeah.
And develop in all realms.
Yeah.
And understand, and for women, understand that the world does not owe you understanding.
Yeah.
Of what your story is. All of us have story.
Mm-hmm.
Treat men right. That's the message for women. Treat men right. Treat men right, and what you want will happen.
Okay. Are you still gonna give us the song though? Or no?
I think we can perform it after this long form. I would prefer to do a portrait performance. And then you can maybe I don't know if you can.
Okay. No, it's fine. I think we're just going to go outside.
Yeah, we can do that as well.
Okay, guys. With that said, we have no further information to give to the masses. Thank you, Nine, for coming here and affirming what I need to call this series. And thank you for sharing your story
100%.
And your music. And now to the performance. Bye.
We didn't get the performance because of time constraints, but you can find Khanya, aka Nine's music, on all music platforms. Thank you.